Hey guys, MRG here with episode 30 of my Bloodborne Let's Play. In the last episode, we beat Abrides, the daughter of Cosmos, first try, and the bloody crow of Canehurst. Took 2 tries, but we managed. So I did get the Blade of Mercy. I saved up for it, but I probably won't stick with it. I haven't really tested out its damage output, but you can't really imbue it with anything thanks to it being partially an arcane weapon, which kind of sucks. And even though I heard it's a great weapon and pretty solid for early game, I'm probably just going to stick with what I have. And once I get like a really good DLC weapon, I'll probably stick with that. But anyway, we're going to head to the Advent Plaza and continue on with the story, as there's literally nothing else we can do in terms of side material. If you guys haven't heard, the game Last of Us Part 2 has been delayed. Its original release date was supposed to be in late February, like I think the 21st or 2nd. But now they're pushing it back to May 29th, which means 3 extra months. Which honestly kind of sucks, but at the same time, that gives them time to make the game as perfect as they can. And gives them more time to finish a few games, especially the first Last of Us. I've never played the first Last of Us. I mean, I played like the first few hours, but I never really continued playing because I guess I just got bored or something happened where I couldn't really play anymore. But regardless, I'm going to be finishing it up. I'm going to be waiting until closer to the release date, so probably starting in April I'm going to start playing it. So welcome to the lecture building. If you guys are curious, we were actually technically already here, but now that we checked that guy, this is a different level. We're at the top level. This is the bottom level right there. And the enemies here do have more HP and are stronger, so keep that in mind. That's the area you grind for Quicksilver that I showed you guys last episode. This area does have a few tough enemies that I'll be showing you guys in a second.
Sorry.
The way my phone landed is funny. I hope I didn't break it, but sorry about that. For some fucking reason, my phone thinks I said SIRI since I use an iPhone, but I'm not saying the iPhone is better than anything. I don't want to start that argument. Please, for the love of God, if you're one of those idiots that like love starting that argument, just shut the fuck up. I couldn't care less, buddy. Next time I get a phone, I'm gonna look at its specs and like make sure it's something I absolutely want and is worth it, you know. So before, these guys only took like 1 hit, maybe 2 hits down there, but now they take a couple. So yeah, the ones on the upper floor are a bit higher. This area is fairly short, the lecture building, but it is very much worth exploring for the items. And I just got body slammed by a weird slug dude. I forget the name, their name. I think they're called something scholars. I'm just gonna call them scholars because that's a cool word. Alright, I should probably pop this on so I have some vision. 3/3 chords. That is kind of a hint on why you collect umbilical cords. You need 3 of them at least. In Luna's Moon presence, beckoned by Lawrence and his associates, Pillblood. Another very good hint. This is how you leave this area, but I'm going to fight this guy. This is the strongest cathedral giant in the game. I consider this thing a boss. It hits like a truck, it has a lot of HP. If you guys are wondering what that red symbol is above where it says bolt paper, that just, that is related to a rune I have called the Eye Rune. It basically equips, increases the amount of item drops from enemies. Or at least has a chance. Oh, never mind. I guess I didn't equip it. Oh yeah, more items from fallen foes. I forgot to switch back to my normal setup, so that was what I was equipping for my grinding, because I wanted to get some chunks from those wolves at the lecture hall. Not the lecture hall, the Upper Cathedral Ward, but none of them dropped anything, so I just gave up and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for later. Plus, I don't really want to use the Blade of Mercy anyway, so moving on. Like, if it was able to be imbued with a bolt and fire, yeah, I definitely would have used it. It would have been broken as hell, but it just would have made things a lot funner to use. But thanks to it being technically part arcane damage, I can't. Minion. These look like chicken coops or whatever those are called. The little houses for chickens, but they're like tables and shit. Man, what's this class for? Feminism? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I feel like an asshole for saying that. And yeah, I know feminism isn't bad. It's just some people take it to a whole different level that kind of makes it pathetic, but it's not my right to judge. I have nothing against feminism as a whole. Except for those extremists. Like, the extremists that shove every fucking thing they believe down other people's throats. Those are the people I don't like, but for the most part, I couldn't care less. You know who I'm talking about, yo. You know who I'm talking about. Did that thing just explode? I do not... Oh, blood chunk. I'm saving that, though. I'm not going to use that on my Blade of Mercy. It's a good weapon. I'll show it off right now. It is upgraded. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So we'll quickly equip the Blade of Mercy. It's really fast, and I'll show you its trick switch. It's a trick variety, but for the most part, I don't think I'll use it. But we'll test it out right here. Why not? So this is its base. Oh, it's R2's like surprised. Okay, okay. Wait a minute. Are you serious, game? Are you serious, phone? I guess serious does sound like the word serious, so... Really? So, if you're curious why it's doing so little damage, I don't have any blood dims on it, so it's kind of not the greatest as it could be, and it's only level 6. The rest of my weapons are on level 8 or 9. One of them is even plus 9, so it could be a lot stronger, but it isn't. So there's the lantern. I'm going to heal real quick. I'm surprised this is the first time I had to heal this episode. Or at least in this area. So in here, there's going to be kind of an ambush. I think it's dead above us. No, it isn't. So if you keep looking, there will be a dude, like, crawling on the ceiling. Yeah, it was above us. Excuse me. That's weird, how I couldn't lock on it. Some sedatives, which is going to be extremely useful for the next area. And then this thing drops down on me. So this is a switch. It turns into a two-handed weapon. It's quick and really strong, but you just can't imbue it, which kind of makes sense because it would be pretty damn broken that way. I like the weapon, but I'm going to stick with the Rider Palash and the Chikage for now, just because I think since they're upgraded and have gems and stuff, they're just better. They're just all around much better. So I believe that's it for the lecture hall, or lecture building. There is one more thing we can do, but for the most part, everything that is available in this area is pretty much done. There is one optional thing you can do, which I usually do just because I'm a dick and I like, doing it. But, well, I'll show you that in a sec. I just need to find the room. I totally forgot where it is. So, are you guys interested in Last of Us Part 2? Because even though I've never played the first one, I pre-ordered the collector edition for the second one already because A, it looks pretty damn awesome, and B, I mean, the game comes out in May, so I have plenty of time to save up for it and play the first one. And before anyone starts getting into that controversial thing about pre-ordering, what's the big deal about pre-ordering? It just gives you a chance of getting the game, and if you're just jealous that people have the money and time to, spend for pre-ordering something, big deal. If you want to complain to anyone, complain to the companies for not making enough versions of a collector's edition. I always hate that.
Well, this cannot be. You cannot be. No, you didn't. Lord Amygdala? How did this come to pass? Now, wait just a moment. You thinking of me? Me?
I forget, which one do you select? Oh, not at all.
I should think not. I shared with you a thing most secret. Now you're witness to a miracle, and all the stronger for it. You should appreciate it if you've a grain of gratitude in you. No matter, such details. Oh, down. Ah.
Well, it's not like I hate you, but
That was uncharitably done.
Great One's wisdom is basically a madman's knowledge, but times two. Yeah. We're done here. And before you why you ask I killed him, I don't like him. I think Patch is a interesting character, and the way they wrote him and the DLC for Dark Souls 3 was pretty damn awesome. How he had lost his memory and thought he was someone else, and that was pretty awesome. But for the most part, I'm not a huge fan of the character as a whole from the other games. For those who are curious, Patches is a recurring character that is in basically every single Dark Souls game and Bloodborne. I think there's a character in Sekiro that's basically him, but that character is actually legitimately a good character and not evil. Well, he's kind of a dick, but for the most part, he's just a decent, normal character. In Dark Souls, at least the first game, he's someone who hates clerics. Basically, he thinks clerics are just worthless and stuff, and I guess he's just jealous or something. I'm not sure. All around, he's just one of those characters that are cool, but not really one of my favorite characters. So let's equip our new runes. We got a new stamina one, so 15%. Definitely beats this, so we'll equip that. We'll equip this. I could have both of these equipped, but I don't need that much stamina, so the extra 5 is enough. And what else should I equip? We got this now. Ooh. I'm not used to having this early, not gonna lie. I usually save that dude. To be honest, I didn't know that guy existed in the game until 2 playthroughs ago. I played this game 3 other times, and this is my 4th playthrough. Why not? We'll be super stamina heavy. Ooh, actually, I could show you the new rune we got from Elaine. stamina recovery speed up. This is one of my personal favorites. This is really useful, but Hunter I always like equipping because this just makes us extremely, extremely tanky or good at what we do. So I don't think I need 10% stamina with that, so we're going to equip something else. Sorry. Probably the moon one, so I can have a little extra blood echoes. So for the upcoming area, I'm gonna recommend fire paper. We're not gonna do much of the next area. I also recommend equipping sedatives. So with those equipped, we're ready to go. The reason why I recommend fire paper is because a lot of the enemies in the upcoming area we're going to are somewhat weak to the fire paper. For those that are wondering, the lecture building is completely optional. I mean, you have to go through it a little bit to get to the next section, but you don't have to explore it whatsoever. It is worth the time, though, because it has some decent items. But the next area we're going to is not optional whatsoever, but I think I'm just going to run through these guys and get to the door, unless if I actually passed it. I think I did. No, there's the door. It's on this side. Goodbye, lecture building. So our next section in the game is the last major section in the base game. So, basically, this is the last portion of the game. Besides the DLC, if this was just base game, this Let's Play would only be like 3 or 4 episodes longer. This is a pretty decently lengthy area, so it will take a couple episodes to get through it. And, of course, it features one of the most annoying gimmicks in the fucking game. So, the reason why I wanted the Rider Palash for this is so I can imbue it with fire. As you saw up there, there was one of those enemies that we fought in the Nightmare Frontier. So these guys have kind of an annoying gimmick. It's not the gimmick I'm actually talking about before. First of all, they have a lot more HP. But when you kill them, if you kill them with fire, basically if you don't kill them with fire, what would happen is these 3 worms would pop out of them and start attacking you. But if you kill them with a fire-based weapon or attack, it will burn the worms up in their body so they don't pop out and they're dead. Really annoying gimmick, but luckily there's not that. Thankfully, there's not that many of them. So. Oh shit! Okay, we'll come back for that later. Well, I got the souls from it, but I lost the blood gems. Stones. The gimmick is, as you saw that glowing, basically it's a giant winter lantern that shoots down frenzy at you. The reason why I recommend the sedatives is because sedatives actually negate the effect of frenzy. Built up frenzy, so it's really good to get. Here's the lantern, so now we could return back to the Hunter's Dream whenever we want. Let me check the progress of the episode so far. 18 minutes. Alright. This might be a 40-minute episode because honestly I don't feel like making a video tomorrow. I kind of want to take a break for the weekend just so I have like an extra day to just relax and, you know, clean up, take a shower, do whatever, hang out with friends and family and shit, you know. If anyone wants to hang out, you know. The main thing you want to do is hide behind these rocks to hide from the frenzy thing. And plus side, that also affects base enemies. So. And it's not permanent. There's a way to stop it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. It's not going to be for a while. As you can see, the dude's taking damage now. He doesn't even see me. So maybe he's gonna sit. Oh no, he saw me. And then that's the gimmick with worms. And yes, any enemy, everything that basically has a pulse is free game from that guy. Alright, I'm gonna stick with the Jikage for this area because thrust attack is really bad. Alright, we're gonna have to run through this, so I'm gonna go for it. Luckily, these enemies don't do too much damage. We're really over-leveled. Honestly, this area is probably tough if you're around, like... If you're, like, level 60 or 70, like, I'd recommend getting at least a tiny bit of a level up. Why is my health ticking down? Oh! I was like, wait a second. I forgot the Chikage's debuff. It uses up a little bit of your health at each second. I'm brain dead. So as long as those spikes are hitting you, that's when it's doing the frenzy effect on you. So don't worry. If you're not getting spiked, you're not getting frenzied. Up this way is like a shortcut back that we're going to unlock later. I'm not going to go that way though, but if you do, feel free. If you want to, go ahead, do it. So as for the enemies in this section, there's those rock throwing guys. There's a few of them, I think, like 2 of them at least, maybe 3. They're not really annoying. There's those guys that have the worms. But for the most part, the enemies in this upcoming area, you can mostly just run by and just avoid if you want to. Though it's not really that easy to do so, and I recommend just killing these guys because they have a lot of HP, but for the most part, they're pretty easily stagger locked by just repeated hits and not a really big deal. Frick me! I'm gonna die. Of course the worm survived with barely any HP! Can't have luck, can I? And I know the fire gimmick, but I don't want to waste all my favorite... Ugh, excuse me, I don't know why I sound like I was crying. I'm not crying. I killed the worm, but apparently... no. It has to survive with 1 HP, because that's how enemies... That's what happens now, huh? That's a thing, huh? That has to be a regular, awesome mechanic, huh? Two of you need to fuck off. Not 2 of you, but 1 of you. Did that thing just commit suicide? That one worm just decided, fuck you, I'm dying myself. Joke's on you, bud. I still get the blood echoes regardless. That made up for it. Okay. I'm gonna wait for the frenzy to reduce. I know I could use a sedative, but it usually starts going away. Ooh, that would actually be a pretty good one to equip. I just realized I had a rune that increases my frenzy resistance. God damn it, I should have equipped that. Totally forgot about it. I apologize. That's on me. It's not a major deal, but at the same time, like, could have avoided a lot of headache. Excuse me! Okay! How do you like being sacrilocked? I hope it's great, because, man, I love doing it. How do you like missing? Must be great, because, man, I love doing it. I know I just repeated my own joke, but... Fuck, I'm pissed off right now. Suck my dick, you fucking... Fuck. I was gonna say insect, but you're an insect, so that made it... That would have just been kind of redundant. I guess redundant's the wrong word. Hold on a second. I want to get that right definition real quick. What does redundant mean?
Redundant means not or no longer needed or useful. Superfluous.
I guess it was right. Because it was just useless to call it an insect, because that's what maggots are. They're insects. Moving on. Moving on. So we're pretty much safe from that for a little bit. It kind of makes you think this guy, you're affected here, but no, this cliff blocks the way. As long as you're not on the direct side of that thing, you're fine. So there's a few of the rock dudes I was talking about here. Honestly, unless if I'm mistaken, you don't really need to worry about killing these guys. You can just run through the section and iframe the door open, which after this point there's no more of those worm guys, so you don't have to worry about those. And thanks to the iframes, if boulder hits me right now, it's not going to do shit. So just run in and you're good. So there is an item over there though, which we can grab, but I'm going to wait for this guy to throw a boulder at me and then go for it. So this guy's range is not that good, so I could deal with this mofo probably from a pretty safe distance. Okay, so he could hit me from there, so I'm glad I moved. Plus, that is when they have a boulder in their hand and you run up to them, they can't throw it directly down, so they have no choice to just toss the boulder away. I was about to say, if I died to that... Oh, look. Probably don't need that. Man, that would be amazing if this item could be imbued, because... Imagine, fire, blood, and regular damage all at once. Like, man, that would be just damage on damage on damage. If I'm not mistaken, I've missed this item like 100 times, because I never remembered this thing being here. So we did quite a bit. Honestly, damn it, I don't want to end the video off because then I'm going to have to basically start off at the beginning again. But at the same time, like, this is a good spot to end off before we start getting deep into it. Big spider guy. Why not? We'll finish this section because I'm already here and I kind of want to make that the thumbnail, to be honest. So these spiderling enemies, I call them spiderlings, but I don't know their official name. If I could have time to heal real quick. they can hit like a truck. But that big guy, oh boy. Bring it on, big guy. Come on. I'm not being farmed, or not farmed, but I'm not being ambushed by another spider that manages to hit me. Okay, so that's dead. There's the big boy left. Let me get their official names. I don't see it. The closest thing that I could see that is remotely. Oh no, that's that thing we fought out front. Hmm. I just call them giant spiders. Of course you can reach. That's new. I think I found its name. Yeah, so it's apparently called a Nightmare Apostle. In the big one, of course, it's just called Large Nightmare Apostle. It has a really good chance of dropping Quicksilver bullets, but... Oh no, wait. Yep. 27% chance of dropping Quicksilver bullets. Not really worth farming, so moving on. We never have to fight that thing again. Once you're through this area, you're pretty much set. So Shaman Boneblade is a pretty interesting item. Basically, if you hit an enemy with it, it will become hostile to all things around it. So it could be pretty useful, but I do highly recommend saving it for something a little bit later in the game. Well, not a little bit, but quite later in the game. Where it's a kind of a gimmick you could do. Kind of a... I guess a gimmick is the right word, but I don't think it is. It's just something you could do with a few enemies later in the game that I want to save for. Okay. Kink Squad, please disperse. Oh boy. Here we go, guys. Can't kill an enemy with 1 HP left because apparently I can't fucking do anything, and I died. Can I do anything? At all? Can I do anything? I'm not fighting the Apostle again. I'm not dealing with that piece of shit, but still. Do I really have to die at the tail end of the episode, wasting probably 5 to 10 minutes, possibly gonna get me to die again because these guys track you like a fucking crazed ass piece of shit on crack? Blah, 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 blah. Tons of excuses later. It's bullcrap. Nope! Back off, fuckwad. Go commit die. Don't have the benefit of the thing anymore, so we're gonna have to just roll through that. Take my blood echoes back. Thank you for keeping them nice and toasty. Of course those other two are not here, because why not? Okay, so we got that. Just jump down and run out real quick before the large apostle kills me. So I believe this guy is actually a hunter. His name is Edgar. He has just under 2,000 HP. Drops quite a bit of blood echoes, but honestly, he's not that bad of an. He's not that dangerous of an NPC, so I'm not really worried about him. Just to be safe, I'm going to heal. Is that one walking away from us or walking towards? Because if it's walking towards, I'm going to wait till it comes close to us. Looks like he's using the Moonblade. What? I'm sorry. That just did more damage than I was expecting. Bud. I would have desecrated your corpse if you didn't just poof away like that. You worthless piece of shit. Luckily, he never responds. Besides the DLC, hunters don't respond. Respawn. I don't know. Moving on. Nearly 40 minutes, so kind of should end this off as soon as I can if I am able to. These kids are kind of a pain in the butt. They get hit hard. They have a decent amount of HP, but honestly aren't that bad. I don't know their names either. Margot's attendants. There's 3 variations of them, and then there's a giant version of them that we're going to be fighting pretty soon, but that's going to be next episode. So that enemy over there is getting wrecked. I'm just going to sit here and wait for it to die because I want to see how many blood echoes we get from it. I don't know why it's taking only... like a tiny bit of... Oh, there's a lantern right here. I didn't know that. I guess we could have made it over here sooner. Just to be a dick, I want to knock that guy off the edge. It's a good grinding spot, actually. You could knock that guy, kill the other 2 guys pretty easily. Okay, I could see that being a good grinding spot. I didn't know this lantern was over here. I always don't remember it. That makes sense, and I probably wasted minutes of my life running back through the freaking thing just to get back to the shortcut. Well, 40 minutes is a long time. I think that's pretty good where I want to stop for the day. Thanks for watching, guys. In the next episode, we're going to continue through the Nightmare of Manzus and possibly fight the boss. I think we could fight him pretty soon, so it's not, like, out of question, but I don't remember how far ahead he is, so... Anyway, peace out.